George, the eldest leveret of the Hare family, comes back from school alone. It is curious how incidents in the past continue to haunt those in the present. The Hare family, for example, continues to be bitter about the defeat of their fast great-great-grandpa to the slow tortoise during the Great Race. Indeed, it was a shameful loss, and no matter how much the Hare family wants to forget about it, the other animals in the kingdom keep on reminding them. Beside him, a group of rascal animals appear and start to follow him closely, mocking him.
Hey, George, want to race me?
George hurries his step, annoyed and ashamed.
Why the rush? Hey, dummy. Maybe you want to race another tortoise.
The other rascals laugh.
What a dumb, to lose against a tortoise.
George arrives home and shuts the door quickly. Inside, we can see his mother making dinner, his father sitting on the couch reading a newspaper, and his grandfather sleeping on another couch. Everyone is quiet and in a lugubrious environment. George sits on a chair, almost crying. His sister Lucy appears from the side and looks at him. She realizes something's wrong with him.
Is something wrong, George? What happened? Are those boys mocking you again?
No!
Lucy goes to the window and looks outside, but no one's there.
Nothing's wrong.
George stands up and leaves his room. George wanders through the jungle alone, hopping and crying. George wondered whether he'll live the rest of his life being mocked like his father, grandfather, and all those who came before him. If so, why was he even living only to suffer? Suddenly, George stops sharp. The trees open up with a magic wind and a light from above shines over George. He looks up and with his eyes and his mouth wide open at his epiphany.
That's it. Life has no meaning. No meaning at all.
George runs back home, thrilled and exhilarated. We watch him make little happy jumps, avoiding branches and trees. George had an epiphany. It was confusing at first, and though it may seem really sad that life didn't have a meaning, George was happy to be the first to notice. He wasn't dumb after all. His family would be vindicated. George opens the door to his house. No one's there. He shouts,
I am a genius! I am a genius! Just you watch, everyone. You will never dare insult the Hare family again.
His sister appears looking sleepy.
What is going on, George? Why are you so noisy? You woke me up from my nap. For goodness sake.
You won't believe what I discovered, Lucy. Where's Mom and Dad? I can't understand why no one has figured out something so simple, yet so revolutionary. The proud tortoise family hasn't even discovered it.
What are you talking about?
Remember when Dad said that God hides treasures in the open, but it takes insight to spot them?
Yeah, so?
But George stays silent, thinking. His mother enters.
There is no meaning to life.
His mother frowns and looks at Lucy for explanations, but she's as puzzled as her.
What are you talking about? Have you gone insane?
It's true. Let me explain.
George ignores her and looks at his mom.
Lucy, what do you do every day?
What kind of silly question is that, George? Have you gone crazy?
Lucy and their mother stare at George blankly.
It sounds silly because it's so simple, but what's sillier is what no one has discovered it yet. Look, we do the same thing every day. We wake up, go find food, eat the food we find, sleep, wake up, and continue this cycle until we get old and die. We work to eat, and we eat to work. See? We do the same thing all the time. What's the meaning of that?
His mom stays silent for a second, thinking about George's words. She's about to say something, but George is on the move again.
Gotta go.
George leaves the house. Lucy and Mom look at each other in silence. George runs through the jungle paths, totally excited.
Life has no meaning! Life has no meaning!
Everyone he crosses path with look at him as if he were insane.
Life has no meaning! Life has no meaning!
The expressions on the faces of the animals start to shift from confusion to acceptance. They start to gossip. We see how the news is spread through the kingdom from ear to ear. The news fastly reached the king of the jungle, the lion. We see a bird telling the news to the lion, to his ear in secret. The king is amazed by the discovery, but when he goes to the window where he can see the entire kingdom, He realizes everything is in chaos.
Who has caused this commotion? Come up to me and explain yourself, before I give you punishment for disturbing the peace of my kingdom.
He was so disturbed by all the commotion in his kingdom that he asked for an emergency meeting. The birds spread the news. We see how the birds start flying throughout the kingdom, telling everyone about the emergency meeting. All the animals start moving in the direction of the falling sun. The place looks like an ancient Greek amphitheater with a stage where the kings sit. The whole animal kingdom gathers to hear what the king of the jungle has to say about the rumors spreading around. They are all full of speculation. To start the meeting, the king of the jungle roars, blowing the flies, who are the front sitters, all the way to the back. The flies begrudgingly fly back to their designated position. The pythons and vipers threaten to bite if the other animals make a noise. Just then, George arrives at the center of the jungle. The wolves dressed in police outfits are quick to spot George and lift him to the podium next to the king of the jungle.
Little boy, explain to me what is going on.
My lord, king of the jungle, may I present to you the discovery of the century?
You don't seem to realize how much trouble you are in. Tell me your discovery.
We hear murmurs among the audience.
I am sorry, my lord. You should have been the first one to know about my discovery. May I be forgiven for allowing my emotions to get the best of me? There's absolutely no meaning in life, my lord. That's my discovery.
The animal kingdom is in awe.
We work to eat and eat to get the strength to work. This life has no purpose.
The king is silent for what seems like an hour. Everyone is waiting for him to respond. Then the lion finally clears his throat.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to admit that this discovery of George has puzzled the animal kingdom for centuries. Has life no meaning? Then why are we living? No one has been brave enough to get to the root of this yet.
We hear murmurs again.
There's a place where no one has come back from, a place which holds all the answers to life. This place is called the Land of Clarity. The journey will be long, and there's no assurance that you will survive, but someone has to go.
The animals are amazed.
Who is willing to embark towards this land and give the kingdom the answers that they are looking for?
They look at each other without knowing what to say. Silence among the audience. New silence. The air is thick with tension. Then, the mischievous raccoons start shouting. The other animals are quick to follow their lead.
George and Malila, it is. Can I have them both on the podium with me?
The wolves look for Tui Malila, but can't find the tortoise anywhere. Crow is heard laughing while saying, the other animals laugh with him.
Stop making fun of the tortoise and let the Australian kangaroo go get him in her pouch.
The kangaroo leaves at once with her gracious jumps. Everyone stays silent, looking at each other, waiting. There's jubilation when the kangaroo and Tui Malila arrive. The tortoise is overwhelmed with the eager greetings. The wolves put him on the stage next to George. They stare at each other seriously.
George and Tui Malila stand before me. Once again, the hare and the tortoise family meet. This time, not as enemies, but as partners.
Everyone in the audience starts cheering.
Both of you must travel to the Land of Clarity to find the answer to the question, what is the purpose of life?
George and Tui Malila keep staring at each other seriously. Finally, Tui Malila understood what was happening. Their families were rivals forever. Now, once again, they were presented with an opportunity to bring back the glory to their species.